good evening everybody and welcome out to 4Wide Racing week number 20 here at Auto Club Speedway. This is the Cruising in California 200. We've got the cup cars out here, we've got fixed setups, we're having a great time out here in California. 101 laps tonight, only one fast repair. And so tonight it's going to really be decided out there on the track, and with pit strategy, everything's going to be playing tonight. It's going to be a great time. So as far as keys to victory tonight, tires. Number one here at Auto Club Speedway, you've got to conserve those tires. And as you're conserving those tires, that will mold into a pit strategy, which is item number two. So you're going to have to look and see, how much time do I need to pit? When do I need to pit? Can I make it all the way on fuel? Are we going to have a caution? A lot of pit strategy is going to be played out tonight. And then finally, number three, just keep it clean. So a lot of times in these races, especially out here at Auto Club, if you just keep your car clean, you're going to have a good finish. And that's really going to be the deciding factor tonight with only one fast repair. You've got to keep that car clean. You've got to keep clean air on that front end. So those are the keys to victory. Somebody that knows a lot about victory this year, James Holzer in that number 88 Harley Davidson car there. So he is our points leader after 19 weeks. He does have 3 wins, 10 top 5s, and 14 top 10s. So anytime you have 14 top 10s out of 19 races, you're going to be high up on the list. The guy right up underneath him there, Austin Reedy, same deal, 14 top 10s. He's up there towards the top of the leaderboard. Tyler Murray, he's got 1 win, 5 top 10s, 5 top 5s, 12 top 10s. So again, all these top 7 guys there are all super consistent and have a lot of those top 5s and top 10s. Take a look down there, tied for 6th place, Jonathan Warren. He is the guy that won our All-Star race this past week at Chicagoland Speedway. He is coming in here with the momentum, and he does have 5 wins on the season. So he is on a tear, and we will see exactly how good everybody's going tonight. In fact, just looking down the list, I see a few guys on the list this week that have never been on the list before, so it should be a very, very interesting race. Only 5 races left to go this season, and then we're going to get into the off season, and we'll talk about that right now. So this off season, what we're going to do is we're going to get in the Xfinity cars. So right now we're in the Cup cars, we're going to jump in the Xfinity cars, and when we jump into those Xfinity cars, we're going to do some stage racing, which is something that we're not doing right now. We will get into those stage races. We're going to test out some playoff possibilities. We're going to have a lot of fun just figuring out exactly what we want to do this next season. And so please, if you are out there and you are not already a member of 4Wide Racing, join us for the off-season test series. Jump in a car out here, have a little bit of fun with us, and we will see exactly what we can do to make this next season absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to have a good time the whole time. My name is Sean Griffith. I'm with Speed Racing Network. I will be your broadcaster tonight. We may have some surprises along the way. We may have some interviews, and we may have even might have an on-track reporter here a little bit later. So we're going to have a lot of fun out here tonight. This is our first week broadcasting for 4Wide Racing for a points race. So last week we broadcast their All-Star race and had a great time doing it. It was a fantastic race, only one caution out there on the track. And so that created a lot of green flag racing and a lot of good competitive racing. And that's what we're expecting to see a little bit more tonight, is just good competitive racing. So the guys are out there on the track right now. They are qualifying, and let's just see if we can pull up a couple of them here and see how they're doing out there on the track. So let's find out what we got. So looks like out there on the track right now we have Roman Long. So Roman Long is out there in the number 99 car getting his laps in. We also have a newcomer to this league, Adam Pettit. He's just finishing up his qualifying laps there. So, and then Jay Gimble out there in the number 12 Home Depot car, out there getting around the track really quick. No surprise right now so far, and we'll pull up the standings here on the left side. you can see James Holzer is so far our pole position. And of course, he's the leader in the points, so that doesn't surprise anybody that he's up front. But we do have a couple guys on his tail. Craig Lottenslager in the 13 car, and then Bobby Brill in the 03 car. So, and then another common name around the entire iRacing scene is David Duke. He's up there in 4th place as it sits right now. Still have a little bit of time for these guys to get out there and get their qualifying laps in there. But for those of you just joining us tonight, once again, we are here in California at Auto Club Speedway. We are going to run 101 laps for 4-wide racing, and we only have one fast repair. Here we are in the Cup cars. There are some people out there that like trucks, some people like the Xfinity cars. A lot of people love these Cup cars because they're nice and stable, and that makes you go a little bit faster. You can take a few more chances and do so safely. So we are here at Auto Club Speedway in California with the Cruising in California 200. And again, just watch out for those tires out there. Anytime you're going as fast as these cars are going, you are going to wear out those tires quickly. But if you can stretch those tires, if you can stretch it just a few extra laps, then that's really all it takes to get into the pit strategy area, where you can call your own shots. You can design how you're going to do out there on the track because of how you use those tires. And then finally, just keeping it clean out there. We saw last week, this is a very, very clean league. They are out there, they're not running into each other. They are racing hard, but they're racing clean. And if you keep it clean tonight, then you have a very good chance of bringing home a top 5. All right, let's see if there's anybody out on the track right now. There is not. It looks like pretty much everybody has qualified as it sits right now. Let's see if we can't get a quick little interview here with, let's see who we can get. Let's see if we can't grab Tyler Murray up here. And so Tyler, he is in charge of the off-season league. So let's see if we can't grab him. Hey, Tyler Murray, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you, Sean?
Doing good, man. I'm just telling the audience here about the off-season series. So what can you tell us about that?
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get things a little more organized going into next year's season at the end of January. So we have a pretty big gap from the end of September to the end of January where we want to introduce new drivers into the league, not really have any high stake racing where they can get acclimated with the other guys and we can practice some of our new rule changes. As of right now, we had a poll in the league where we're probably going to be running the Xfinity Series cars at a mixture of short tracks, road courses, and super speedways. You know, we have some interesting ones on there like Nashville and Concord, and Thompsonville is on there. So we're just trying to work out the kinks and have that league running where we can test our new rules.
So if we have any viewers out there right now that they're into iRacing, but they haven't quite made the jump into getting into a league like this, what would you tell them to make them comfortable about getting into this league?
I mean, honestly, this group of guys that we run with here, we're all friends now, and we really enjoy racing with each other. It's a great group of guys that, you know, we have the Discord channel where we spend all week just talking and helping each other out. And a lot of these faster guys work with this newer guys to iRacing and help them get acclimated and help them get faster. And we've already seen huge improvements in drivers that were newer to iRacing at the beginning of this season to now. And, you know, we definitely want to we want to invite anybody and everybody to come join this league. You know, we're open to anybody who wants to race, anybody who has the sim. Just come by, join us for a race or two, see how you feel, go out on the track and see if you can't learn a few things.
Awesome, man. A really good social league. You guys have done a great job already. Can't wait to see what happens in the coming seasons. I'm going to drop you back down to your team because we only have about 45 seconds left till grid time. But, man, have a great race out there. Have a good time.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
All right. Once again, that was Tyler Murray. He is in charge of the off-season league, and we are going to do a lot with that. We're actually going to test out a few rules. We're going to test out a few different scenarios as far as this is how the playoffs should work and this is how it shouldn't. And so this is a great time for a young driver to get in, kind of learn the ropes a little bit, and get in on the ground floor of a league and grow with the league. So definitely do not be afraid to jump in and do that. All right, looks like we got about 10 seconds left. Nobody's out on the track, so pretty sure we've got our results as far as our qualifying. So let me pull those up for us just shortly here. There they are. So number 1, James Holzer, and once again our points leader. He is up there in first place. He is going to be our pole sitter. Craig Lautenslager, sorry, that name's a little long, so it's cut off. So I apologize for that, Craig. But he is in second, just behind Holzer there. Bobby Brill, first time in this league. But he is a fantastic racer. We have seen him in other leagues, especially on Sunday night. Very, very good racer. David Duke as well. In fact, David has been in racing pretty much his entire life. He used to be a crew chief for the old Busch series, so don't be surprised to see him up front. Nick Pizzuti, he is up there in 5th place. We had a fun little chat with him last week during the All-Star race, so a very good racer in his own right with a win so far this season. Austin Reedy up in 6th place, so Austin is one of those guys that's really high up in the standings. So, I mean, it should be no shock that these guys are up front at all whatsoever. And so that is our top 6. Tyler Murray in 7th, and then Chris Massey in 8th from Rocky Motorsports. Brian O'Shell, he is in 9th, a newcomer this season. Adam Pettit as well, another first-timer here in the league. Roman Long, he is the guy that's in charge of this league right now. He is back in 11th. And Tyler Werner is back in 12th. All right, we're going to get the pace car out there on the track here very, very shortly, and we will kind of go through these cars. A lot of great paint schemes out there. Let's see if we can't see some of those right now. So James Holzer up front once again in that Harley Davidson number 88 car. Beautiful paint job there. Craig Lautenslager there in the AMD Rizon Radeon car. Bobby Brill in the Jordan car. David Duke up in the CMC Fabrication car. Nick Pizzuti in the Iowa Box car. Austin Reed in the Pat McAfee show car. Tyler Murray in the High Life Sports car. Chris Massey. Oh, that says Chris Pro Shops. That's not Fast Pro. That is Chris Pro. I kind of like that. Good job out there, Chris. And Adam Pettit, nice and clean in the Motorcraft, the Ford Motorcraft car. Got Tyler Murray already there. So Brian O'Shell out there in the race cars. I'm not sure what that says. That's a good looking car. So let's get back out there on the track. Pace car is going to come around. Once that pace car drops off, it is all systems go. You can see some of the guys warming up their tires out there. Once again, 101 laps tonight, only one faster car, so we should see some racing. And the pace car drops off. Here we go. James Holzer puts his foot on the gas and takes off. Great jump. We're already 3 wide back towards the back. Let's see if we can't get around these first couple of turns cleanly. This is typically the hardest part of the race. But it looks like everybody's just kind of falling in line. Bobby Brill has moved up into 2nd place, passing Craig Lautenslager there. James Holzer up front. Bobby Brill looking to the inside, but Holzer's going to cut him off. jumping out ahead. He's going to lead that first lap, and he's also going to build up a nice little lead already. This keeps up, it's going to be a very, very short race. Nobody's going to finish this game. Back towards the back, they're starting to kind of filter out a little bit, get single file. And once that gets single file, it's a little bit easier to draft off the people in front of you and maybe possibly make a run at James Holzer here. But as of right now, he is already 0.7 of a second ahead of everyone, and it's only been 2 laps. Back a little ways, we got a big group going on back here. David Duke coming up in 3rd place. Not really sure what happened to Bobby Brill. Bobby Brill moves all the way back to 9th. So not really sure what happened. You can see nobody is letting up right now. There are 2 wides, 3 wides, all the way back from 5th place on back. So nobody's really got time just to sit back and relax. They're ready to get out there and race it. And here we go again. We got 3 wide, almost 4 wide back there from Chris Massey on back. Chris is back there in 6th place, but you can see how oh no! Chris Massey up into the wall. He got tagged on there 7. Was that 21, I believe? That might have been gained down. Yeah, Chris Massey, he's going to have some damage after that wall hit. But back up front, James Holzer, he is getting that gap close a little bit. Looks like this catching up to him. And David Duke back there in 3rd. Right now, gap 0.4 of a second. Back in the back is starting to draw some. We don't see any more 3 wides going on. And of course, that damage to Chris Massey, he is way back now. We'll go back and check on him. He may have to use that fast repair a little bit early. I think he's just hoping for a caution at this point so he can fix whatever damage he does have. It looks like that right side is nice and bent up there, especially right there over the wheel. Oh, yeah, that's... See that? That is totally right. So he's just hanging on the wheel line. Holzer, once again, maintaining that lead, 0.3 of a second. Greg Lautenschlager is not letting him get away at all. David Duke right behind Lautenschlager there as well. So, we got a little bit of shaking going on out there. That may have been, that is the number 56 of Dylan Browning. Got a little bit loose there. Doesn't hurt too badly right now, but he's already been loose. That might cause some trouble a little bit later on in this run. James Holzer still maintaining that lead. Let's go back towards the back a little bit and see who's back here. That looks to be Daniel Dow there in the turn. Then back a little bit further, Bobby Brill, who started off in 3rd place, he's dropped all the way back, and I'm not really sure if there's some damage there. We can take a look at that. But it looked like he got caught up on the outside. I'm not sure if he touched the wall or not, but he is falling back. And just knowing how Bobby Brill races, that is not typical for him. So something must be wrong with that car right now. David Duke there so he can work his way up towards the front. Again, Austin Reedy up towards the top of those standings. He is one of those guys that can catch James Holzer. He's just got to have some better patience than James. But right now, James is holding everything. He is up and front. He is not letting up yet. Although the pack has tightened. Oh, we do have a caution. We've got a caution. Let's see where that is. I'm not seeing. Oh, we got somebody in the wall back there. That's. I believe that might have been Roman Long, maybe. Let's go back and find out. Oh, it looks like the 44 of Larry Rayburn Jr. That's Wayne Rayburn. He goes for a little spin there. So let's check that out again one more time with the Denton Wizard record replay. And you can see. Once again, you can kind of see he's just up there on the outside, and then that looks like the 9 car of Brandon Gillis just kind of floats up there. I'm not sure if Wayne knew that he was down there or if Brandon knew that he was up there. Let's take a look at this one more time here. You can see there's really nowhere that Wayne could go unless he stayed right up there on the wall. Just a racing incident out there, so those sort of things happen, but that is going to cause some havoc there for Wayne Rayburn. And so he'll have to come in and get a fast repair. You know, the other person this really does affect and really does help is Chris Massey. So Chris Massey is going to get to pit. He's going to get to take that fast repair, and that is going to help him. But right now on pit road, everybody is down here on pit road already. So that just shows exactly how fast maybe these tires can go. So you can see everybody jockeying for position there. But it looks like only one person stayed out, Tyler Werner. Tyler Werner stayed out there, and now he is going to be up in first place. And there he is. So Tyler Werner, the only person taking a gamble here. And then right behind, again, James Holzer. So James is going to have that second place, that outside position here on the restart. So we'll get to see if he can jump away from the pack if he's not the one leading it. So we'll find out what's going on that end. Back there in third, that's David Duke in the 79, CMC fabrication car there. So he will restart third. So there are your top 3 at this moment. Kind of risky what Tyler Werner is doing out there on 10-lap old tires. It looks like, no, he's going to come down. Yeah, so Tyler Werner is going to go into the pits. So James Holzer, once again, is going to be in charge of the restart. So it looks like we got 1 lap to go, 1 lap till green, and then we are right back at it here at the Cruising in California 200 on Speed Racing Network. Holzer once again leading the pack. He has led every lap of this race so far, except for that one under caution that was led by, I believe, Tyler Werner. So we're going to check on that and see if Tyler led that lap or not. But regardless, James Holzer, our points leader, up front and controlling this race. Now, again, the one person that really got a lot of help on that was Chris Massey. He elected not to use his fast repair. So he is going to try to give it a go with this. How he doesn't save that fast repair for later. So he does have some damage, but if he can just hang in there long enough for either another caution or perhaps some green flag stops where he can use a fast repair a little bit later in the race, then he might be able to get back in this. But up front, pace car is going to dip off. Here comes James Holzer with the restart, and he takes off David Duke on the outside. He is going to dip into line. He is going to tuck in right behind James. Let's see if James can get away as quickly as he got away a little bit earlier. He's already up to a 40-second lead, which just isn't enough here. David Duke's going to start to reel him in here. If he can just tuck up right behind, he's going to get a nice little push from Slogger as well. So that will definitely help those two catch up to James. Let's just see what James does when he gets a little bit of pressure there. You can see Duke kind of dive to the inside a little bit. Not quite top of making that pass just yet. Oh, Duke gets a little loose. Not sure if that was from the push there. But Duke got a little bit loose. Now we are 3 wide back there in second place. All these cars want to get up front, but as they are racing against each other there, James Holzer is loving it. He is up to a half-second lead. And now Craig will just dip in. He'll tuck in right behind David Duke there. And we'll get back to some single file racing, which will hopefully get them a little bit closer to Holzer so we can have some good racing up there for the lead. You see a little bit further back here, so right there on the outside, the number 54 of Brian O'Shell. He's got the number 8 of Tyler Murray on his inside. They are back there racing in positions. You can see all these cars, a lot of them taking different lines, but those leaders all up on the outside, all in one single file line. And that's going to help them try to break the road. Oh, and again, a little bit of wiggle back there. I believe that was Brandon Banks. No, I'm sorry, it was Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown had a little bit of a wiggle back there, so I'm not sure if maybe this is just a little tight for him right now, but as it gets a little bit later on, hopefully that kind of works itself out. Otherwise, he's going to have some trouble. Oh, and it looks like that Motorscraft car, I believe that's Adam Pettit, just dove to the inside. He's going to try to take the initial position from Austin Reed, but he cannot quite get that to stick. So we've got some great racing going on here. Nobody really able to break away too far. We still have Holzer up front leading the whole way, but you can see David Duke going down to the inside. He's going to try to make a pass right here. And he does. He's going to make that. Well, I maybe called it too soon. Don't think that Holzer wants to give it away too easy, and there it is. So David Duke finally makes that pass, and he will take the lead here at the Cruising California 200 on Speed Racing Network. Oh, we got a spin. I believe that's O'Shell. That might have been O'Shell that got a little turn. Oh, yeah, he's in the wall. That is going to cause some serious damage. Oh, and it looks like he took out maybe Bobby Brill. Yeah, we've got some damage out there. We've got a yellow flag. We're going to go back and we're going to see how that all happened. It just looked like, I believe that was O'Shell got just a little, no, that, you know what, that's not O'Shell. I believe that is, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit better on this. No, I was right before. That is O'Shell. So O'Shell gets a little bit loose there. He got a little tap, I believe, from Austin Reedy. And then, oh, he got hit from behind. So we're going to have a lot of cars that are going to need those fast repairs right now. And so this is where the race really gets interesting, because as you're using those fast repairs and as people are getting some damage, it's going to be really, really difficult for these cars to maintain speed. And so if they can't maintain speed out there, then obviously, you know, they can't compete for the win. So there's going to have to be a little bit of calming down out there in order to make it 101 laps. But it looks like just about everybody coming into the pits here, except for Austin Reedy and Nick Rizzuti. they are staying out. It looks like somebody was backwards on pit road. But Austin Reedy stays out. Nick Vizzuti stays out as well. And Mike Eberhardt, he stays out as well. So 3 guys staying out on the track. They're going to take their chances. Really, their tires are about 9 laps old at this point. So not a ton of wear on them. And first car out of the pits looks like David Duke. So David Duke is going to have an advantage over these top 3 cars because he just pitted here on lap 18. And then you can see the Under Armour car there. That is Brandon Gillis. He is a lap down right now, but we will see shortly if he will get a wave around or a lucky dog to get him back on the lead lap. Currently, he's the only car a lap down that I see. Jumping back, Brian O'Shell coming out of the pits there, so he got a brand new car, definitely needed it. That was a hard hit that he took. The other people involved, Jaden Gimble, he got to the back of O'Shell there while O'Shell was slowed down because of the spin that he had, so not really anywhere that he could have gone. Got Danny Dow, I believe he was involved in that as well. And I believe Bobby Brill was involved there as well. So a lot of these cars that were up front, now they're going to have to fight their way back. But right back up front, Austin Reedy. And just so everybody sees where we're at here, so Austin Reedy, that is our second place in points at this point. James Holzer, again, our points leader. He is sitting back there in fifth place right now. And so Austin Reedy has a chance here to close the gap a little bit. We're going to come around turns 3 and 4 here. The pace car is going to dip off, and Austin Reedy is going to get the chance to do a restart. Now we're really going to see how some of these cars that were up front the entire time do back there in traffic, which is a completely different animal. So anytime you have a car that races really well out front, like Holzer had the entire first run, and also David Duke, that car sometimes acts a little bit different when you get into some traffic. So we're going to find out very shortly if that is the case. And don't be surprised right now, I mean, as racy as these guys are getting out there already, if there's not another caution pretty shortly. Because anytime you get stacked up like this, it causes caution. So Austin Reedy, he is on the gas. And really, number 75, Nick Vizzuti got a great restart. I think he knew exactly when Austin was going to go. And so he is right up on his right side. Let's just see. I'm not sure he's going to get a run being that far outside. So Austin Reedy clears the field. And yeah, we already got spinning back there. So looks like the number 8 of Tyler Murray is going spinning. Yeah, we've got a caution already. So Mike Eberhardt involved, Tyler Murray involved. So yeah, we're going to have to get this cleaned up just a little bit in order to make it 101 laps tonight. So if we keep on getting wrecks like this, then definitely it's going to be really tough to finish these race. So it looks like number 64, Mike Eberhardt, is going to have some serious damage on that car. So he's definitely going to have to use that fast repair. You know, somebody that we talked about a little bit earlier, not sure if he used his fast repair or not yet, is Chris Massey. And no, it looks like he still has that same damage on his car. So he is still not used his fast repair. And that is a good strategy move if he can maintain the speed out there in the track. Let's go back and see if we can't find out what happened. Yeah, it just looked like a couple guys got into each other. I mean, it started a little bit further back, I believe. So we're going to find out. Oh yeah, we got down on the apron. just started spinning a little bit, but then right up in front of him, that looked like Tyler Murray just kind of started spinning on his own. I'm not sure if he got tapped somewhere or what, but it just looks like he just started spinning on his own. So two separate incidents at the same time. Kind of rare to see that. So he just kind of overdrives it. He starts to get a little bit loose and starts to spin. So that was one of the incidents. The other incident, a little bit further back, that was here where Home Depot number 20 gets involved. That's Brandon Banks, and then the number 64 there of Mike Eberhardt gets spun. So definitely have some damage out on the track. And again, we're going to have a lot of people coming down into the pits getting some stuff repaired. But out front, once again, Austin Reedy again opts not to pit. So his last pit was back on lap 10, where everybody behind him has pitted on lap 18 or later. And so he is definitely going to have a disadvantage here when it comes to tires. But it worked the first time around. He's still out front. So let's see if he can't make it stick one more time here. David Duke is going to restart on his outside. Just see really quickly if we can't get David Duke up here to talk to just for a second. David Duke, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Hey, Sean. How's it going, bud?
Doing good. I know you're loving the front of this race right now. It's kind of staying out of all this stuff that's going on behind you. So what's the secret here on this restart?
Just going to bide my time here. It looks like on my relative here, I've got 8 lap fresher tires in the 11. Pretty sure I can probably catch him and easily pass him probably by about turn 3 with my fresher tires. But just going to try to save my stuff, man. Not going to force the issue. Hopefully we'll get a long run here, man. I'm just going to ease out and check on out.
Well, I know we got a couple more turns here before the break. This is your first week in this league. What are you seeing?
Seeing some pretty good racing. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of incidents here early, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of new guys here, just like myself, that are not used to racing around some of the other guys, and I think that might be a product of some of these yellows. But I think we'll get it figured out here pretty soon.
All right, buddy. We're going to drop you back down there into the race channel, and we're going to get back to racing here. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Speed Racing Network, for broadcasting this. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, and that's David Duke. He's going to be starting there on the outside of Austin Ruby. And so Austin's going to get control of this restart. David's saying basically he's going to hang back and just give it time. And sometimes that's a good way to go. It sounds like he's very aware that he has better tires than Austin right now. So just kind of a wait-and-see approach. Right behind him is Danny Dow, in that number 21 Silverback Tax Solutions car. So they are teammates in another league. So they do know how each other races. And so Austin Reedy up front takes that green flag, and he jumps out to a nice little start, just like David Duke said. He's just going to lay back a little bit, let the race come to him, and see what these new tires can do against these old tires. So Austin Reedy is going to get a nice little jump at first. Let's see how long it takes if David Duke can catch up to him. Go back just a little bit here. So it looks like everybody's getting a single file line right now. Everybody's trying to play it kind of nice. We've already had about 3 cautions. Nobody really wants to get bounced out of this race this quickly. We still have 76 laps to go. Plenty of time to get some racing in. So I think everything might calm down here for a while. But up front, Austin Reedy. Again, that gap closed awfully quickly. Duke is going to set him up here, it looks like. He's going to stay right behind. He's going to dip down to the inside, and he is going to go for the pass in this turn. He's got a nose on him right now. And he is going to dive down into that corner, and he can make it stick with those tires. So David Duke back up to the lead. Austin Reedy back to second. Again, you can see behind everybody just falling in line right now. Nobody wants to get too overly racy anymore. With 3 cautions already, a lot of fast repairs already used to make it to the end of this race. Well, Austin Reedy, even on those old tires, he is going to give David Duke a little bit of a run for his money here. Now he's got to watch right behind him. Craig Lautenschlager is right behind. And there he goes to the inside. So Craig, he took a look, but he's not going to be able to complete the pass right there. But at some point, those new tires are going to come into play. You got Danny Dow down there in the 21 car on the inside. So Danny Dow up to 3rd place. So a little bit of moving and shaking going on out there. Looks like the number 54, Brian O'Shell, who was involved in an accident a little bit earlier, obviously used that fast repair, and now he is up there pushing for 3rd place. So Brian O'Shell up to 3rd, and now he's up on the inside. He might be trying for 2nd. Now he's going to let Danny Dow get down there to 2nd, but still, I mean, I thought they were all kind of calming down a little bit, but now we're getting racy again all of a sudden. So now we have Adam Pettit on the inside, fighting for that 3rd position against Brian O'Shell. Looks like Pettit is going to take that position, for now at least. Although O'Shell gets a good run on the outside, so he's going to take it right back. So nobody clearing anybody back there. That has got to be something that David Duke loves. Except Danny Dow is now getting a nice little run on David Duke. And you can see, I mean, there is not a lot of room out there on the track between these guys, so they're all being extremely patient with each other as close as they are. Adam Pettit to the inside of Danny Dow. That's going to force Danny up the track. So now Adam Pettit, he is looking at 2nd place. He's going to get a run here, but he's going to tuck in right behind David Duke. And he's going to settle for 2nd position right now. Austin Reedy in there on the inside. So he's going to make a run at Danny Dow. So all sorts of shuffling up front. You don't really see that this often in leagues where it looked like Nick Pizzuti got to the wall there. Not sure how bad that's going to hurt his car. But he is back there right now in 10th position. Looks like he's falling back just a little bit. So these front 9 cars are starting to break away just a hair. Nothing too crazy just yet. Nobody is really super far behind right now on the track. Up front, Danny Dow going to the outside, trying to take the lead away from David Duke, but just can't get the run. David Duke still maintaining that lead, but on the inside, Adam Pettit in the 41 car, he is going to try to take that 2nd position away from David Duke, from Danny Dow. And then right behind him, Brian O'Shell grabbing off of Adam Pettit. It's just a matter of time before these guys go after the lead, it looks like. Oh, we got 3 wide back there in the back for a little while. Adam Pettit's going to try to stick his nose in there, and he is going to go to the lead. And Brian O'Shell is going to try to do the same thing. He's going to try to get there, and maybe, let's see if he can make it hold, but Adam Pettit jumps up to the outside. David Duke stays up there. Man, these 3 guys are really going at it up front. And then Danny Dow still just sitting up there in the rows, just waiting for his moment. Adam Pettit up front right now, just by a nose. Brian O'Shell gets in a little hot there, but no touching. Good. David Duke. Now they're starting to get, I was going to say they were starting to get single file, but then Danny Dow pops to the inside. David Duke's not going to let Pettit get away at all. So David Duke back up into the lead on the inside. Brian O'Shell drops down. He's going to try to follow Duke. Looks like Brian's just trying to find the fastest lane. He's going to try to stick with him. So even right now, so he saw Duke pop to the outside, so he popped to the outside. So that's going to leave Adam Pettit down on the inside by himself. But now Brian O'Shell again drops down to what he considers the fastest lane down there on the inside, trying to get some good track position. While all this is going on, back there in the back, just people kind of biding their time. But these 3 or 4 guys have really been pushing hard the last 4 or 5 laps. We're here on lap 35 of 101, still 70s. 66 laps, 66 laps to go here. So we're only about a third of the way into this thing, and these guys are racing like it's the last lap. You see O'Shell right on the bumper of Adam Pettit. So that's going to push Adam Pettit up to the lead in this corner here. And they touch. Adam Pettit goes spinning. He's off track, but we're still green. I think he's going to try to safely get it back on the track. And he does, but that is going to cause a little bit of damage. And that is going to drop him all the way back to about 12 or 13, maybe. So just under 11. So definitely going to drop him back. But up front, we've got David Duke and Brian O'Shell still doing battle up there. So now that we've got Adam Pettit out of the way up front, we still have 2 cars going at it. We've got a lap car coming into the picture this race. So we're going to see what they do with this lap car. Oh, and Duke uses him as a pick. Goes to the inside. Gets around him. Brian O'Shell gets around him as well. So everybody getting around that car cleanly. But what a good move by Duke just to go from the outside to the inside. So O'Shell just right there on that bumper, just waiting for David Duke to make a mistake. Now, I'll tell you, I've raced with David Duke plenty of times. He might be waiting a long time. So just to update some people, so our lowest James Hunter, he is sitting back there right now in 11th place. He's doing battle with Adam Pettit, who's just up front. So a couple cars there that have been up front tasted the lead a little bit, and now they're back towards the back, but plenty of time to race back up. Speaking of racing, up front, Brian O'Shell, David Duke just swapping that position back and forth, back and forth. Those guys in second and third place, that is Craig Slugger and Danny Dow, are loving it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Bobby Brill. Bobby Brill, who was our 3rd place qualifier, he is up there in 3rd right now. So they are loving the fact that these two are going at it because that allows them to catch up. So we might see a runaway battle in just a few laps if they keep on battling the way they are. David Duke finally clears Brian O'Shell. And it looks like we're going to settle in a little bit here. And man, that was a good 10 to 15 laps of great racing all the way across the track. Apologize for that little glitch there. So, once again, David Duke up front. He is just leading this race around. O'Shell is just sitting back there in second, kind of where he's been these last few laps. And then Bobby Brill has decided that he wants back in this race. And so he's going to put a little bit of pressure on Brian O'Shell for that second position. So the race not up front anymore. It's back here in second and third, it looks like. Bobby Brill taking that second position. So let's, while everybody kind of spread out back here or up here in the front, let's go back a little ways. I see a little bit of racing back here. So Austin Reedy, Danny Dow, and I believe that's Nick Bizzuti there, all racing for this 10th position. Looks like the 56 as well. That's Dylan Browning. So 4 guys up here racing for the 9th and 10th positions. And then it looked like Wayne Rayburn just came out of nowhere there in the 44 Menards car. So he was involved in a wreck a little bit earlier, so he obviously used that fast repair. He is back up there. He is racing for 10th position. Back front, just to check in on this, so David Duke has opened up a half-second lead on Bobby Brill, and then O'Shell has fallen back another half-second behind that. So the great racing that we saw just a few minutes ago, that has gone away quickly. See, it looks like, I'm not sure if that's smoke or fog out here in California. That would kind of be a little bit too accurate here. David Duke, 6/10 of a second ahead. It looks like everybody's spread out all the way back to, it looks like Nick Bizzuti and Austin Reedy and, Nick Bizzuti and Larry Rayburn and Danny Dow. So everybody else up front has pretty well spread out. Now the question is, when do we pit? So up front, you can hear those tires. So definitely using some tires up right now. But he has gained a half-second lead on Bobby Brill. And Bobby's going to push as hard as he possibly can to catch him, just knowing the way that Bobby races. Then O'Shell for now, he's about a second behind Bobby Brill. So I think he's getting some pressure back there as well right now from Craig. And then also Tyler Werner in the 33 giving a little bit of pressure as well. So now the big race is not all the way at the front spot. It's back here for 3rd place, as people start to catch up to Brian O'Shell. And finally they get in line back there. So again, everybody kind of playing nice right now. I think it's going to be really interesting once we figure out pit strategies here shortly. So we have some guys that pitted on lap 22. We have some guys that pitted on lap 18. And then we have Austin Reedy. Austin Reedy pitted back on lap 10. So at some point, that number 11 car of Austin Reedy has got to come in to get some fresh tires and some fuel. He is, his gamble, it looks like, has not paid off to this point. But maybe he's just hoping for a caution here shortly so that everybody pits at the same time and he has a shot to catch up. But if we get to green flag pit stops, that's going to be pretty hard for him to catch up after that. You can see Bobby Brill and David Duke have basically broken away from the pack. So they have gained a full second over 3rd place. And we are watching the battle for 3rd place. Tyler Werner has passed Brian O'Shell now for 3rd place. And so we have a little bit of new blood up front. Haven't seen Tyler Werner up there really all race, and now he is starting to come alive towards the end of this fuel run. Jay Gimbel, another guy that we haven't really talked about today, they're in the 12 car, the number 12 Home Depot car. He is working his way up to the front on this long run as well. So again, some of these drivers are really good on the short run. Some of them are really good on the long run. The more aggressive you are, typically the better you are on the short run. And if you take a look, Brian O'Shell, again, just knowing how he races in other leagues I've seen him in, he is a very aggressive driver, a safe driver, but a very aggressive driver. And so he is, I believe he is losing some time now because his tires are worn out. looks like, oh, we got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag. So I believe that's back towards the back. I believe Tyler Murray went off track. I think Adam Pettit was involved in that as well, possibly. Not really. Actually, no, Adam Pettit was not involved in that. So it was Tyler Murray. Let's go back and see what happened there. From his view, oh, he just got up into the wall. Once again, those tires, as soon as they start wearing out the way that they do there, there's just not a lot you can do. That car will start to float up to that wall the way it was. And here we are under caution. So Tyler Murray brings out the caution there. So that is going to give everybody the chance to get into pit lane. And you can see, I'm not sure why Bobby Brill is down there on the apron, but he's in second place. David Duke, who's been leading a lot of this race now, up in first still. But I can pretty much guarantee everybody's going to come down for tires right now. So we will let them get their pit stops in, and then we will see if we can maybe get Bobby Brill up here. We've already, you know what, his mic is off, so we won't bother him. Maybe we can get Brian O'Shell and see, he was fighting for the lead there for a while. Let's see if we can get Brian O'Shell in here after these pit stops and speak to him and find out exactly what his strategy is. Is he pushing it really hard to start off with, or is he going to, what his deal is going to be the rest of the race? So you can see, yep, everybody in the pits. Mike Eberhardt stayed out just so he could get back on the lead lap, but everybody in the pits right now. Let's see who gets out of there first. It looks like Tyler Werner beat David Duke out of first place, out of the pits there. So maybe a little bit of strategy there on pit lane. He will pull up. Let's pull up and see pit times. No, he just flat out beat him out of pit road. So it looks like a full stop. He just flat out beat him there. So not really sure how that occurred, but man, great move by Tyler Werner to get out there and get out front. All right, let's see if we can't get Brian O'Shell up here into the booth. Brian O'Shell, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Ooh, what a race, right?
Man, you were fighting for that lead, fighting hard. Was it? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you run out of tires? Is that what happened?
And I killed it.
Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes that's what you got to do, man. I know. I was just telling the audience here that you are a very aggressive driver, safe but aggressive, and sometimes that helps on these short runs. But that was not a short run.
Not at all. And old Duke gave me a run for the money, that's for sure.
Yes, he did. Nice, good racing out there. Can't wait to see what else is going on. If you can get back out front again, you know you're new in this league. This is your first week. What are you seeing from these drivers?
First little incident. It's been hard racing, clean racing, and everybody's doing, minding their P's and Q's.
Well, man, let's hope that continues. This green flag racing has been a lot of fun. So I will let you get back down to the race channel there, and good luck the rest of the way, my friend.
Yeah, 10-4, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and catching this race, and hope y'all enjoy.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. All right. Once again, that was Brian O'Shell fighting for the lead. He said he killed his tires on that run. And so, again, if you're a short run driver, then that's what happens to your tires. They will just flat out go bald out there. And once that happens, then you're going to start to fade back. But if there are lots of cautions, then that type of driving really does help you. So Tyler Werner is going to get the start here. Pace car drops off. Tyler Werner gets on the gas pedal. And he gets a decent little restart there. It looks like Jay Gimbel is going to follow him and move into second place around David Duke. But Duke is not going to give it away. So you can hear the throttle in that car. He's having to throttle that car to get around there, get a little bit of grip on those tires. And everybody shuffling back in the back and up front as well. So David Duke goes to the inside. He is going to fight for that lead once again. And he looks like he's going to possibly clear. Not quite. He's close, but he is not quite cleared him. And there he goes. Now he is clear of Tyler Werner. But now while that's happening, back in third and fourth place, Brian O'Shell, Jay Gimbel going at it. And we have Daniel Bowdler out there in the chat saying that the tires start off bald, they just get bald. That is absolutely true, and Bowdler would know a lot about that. He is a great race driver in his own right. But thank you for correcting me again. I appreciate it. And so up front, David Duke, Brian O'Shell doing battle once again. And again, David Duke is really the finesse driver of the two. And Brian O'Shell is a little bit harder on his tires and on the gas. So I think we might see Brian kind of fight for this position hard right here at first. But once again, if we get another long run, then he's going to drop back. But Tyler Werner decides that he doesn't want anybody to go away, so he is going to fight for that position. Once again, we're here in California at Auto Club Speedway here for 4 Wide Racing on Speed Racing Network. 101 laps tonight, only 1 fast repair. So people have to be very cautious getting around the track. You better be fast because David Duke is out there taking control. See O'Shell trying to reel him in. He's diving down to the inside. Duke is not going to let him take it right there. But if it comes down to that, O'Shell gets a fender on this guy. He is going, oh, and O'Shell gets a little wild. May have touched the wall there. Looks like everybody's okay, but not sure if he has any damage because of that. But that was a scary little moment for him. David Duke leading the entire field, and you can see everybody's kind of too wide, a little bit further back. We got a few guys off the pace. I do want to check in really quick on Chris Massey. A little bit earlier, he had some damage, and he elected not to use. Oh, we got to spin. Before we do that, we got to spin. And that's Jay Gimbel. He is out in the grass, and he's going to bring out a caution. And I'm not sure who he got involved with there. We will go back and we will check that out. It might, I don't want to speculate just yet. So let's back this up and find out exactly who that was that he got involved with. I want to say it might have been Pettit. I could be completely wrong with that. Looks like Pettit goes down to the inside. Yeah, it was Pettit. So not really sure who would really be considered at fault there. It kind of looked like Gimbel got out there to the outside and then kind of came down hard. Not sure. But he's going to have a little bit of damage. Nothing major. He just kind of took a ride through the grass, so he didn't really hit anything. And so his car might be okay, except a little bit of damage on the rear end there. So let's see if we can't get somebody else up in the booth here, talk to us a little bit. Let's see if we can't get our third place driver currently, and that is Tyler Werner. Tyler, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Man, I am doing good. You're sitting back in third right now. You're just kind of biding your time back there, or are you ready to go?
Man, I'm definitely ready to go, but I just don't know if I got anything for David out there. Maybe the 54, but I don't know about David. He's quick.
Yeah, they're pretty fast. I know you're going to the pits here, so I'll make this pretty quick. So you are in this league full time. What could you tell anybody that wants to join this league for the off-season league, the test league that's coming up? What could you tell them?
You know, we're all pretty tight group guys. We're willing to help anybody out that wants to join. Pretty much give you any tips, try and teach you the rules, the ins and outs. Really just stuff like that, I guess.
All right, good deal, man. Well, we will let you get back at it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, so he is in third right now. We appreciate him taking time, especially while he's pitting. Usually I'll wait until after they pit in order to get them up in here in the booth. I wasn't sure if anybody would pit that time around, but here they all are. So he is going to come out, it looks like, in 10th position. Up front, Tyler Murray did not pit that time around. And it looks like Adam Pettit might have. Not really sure how Adam Pettit got up there. And then Brandon Gillis also did not pit. So it looks like we're going to have a few new guys here at the front. And in the chat right now, MDR Series is saying, hey, Sean, how's it going, MDR Series? It's good to see you guys. We're happy that you guys are joining us tonight as we have a good time here in California. So up front right now, Tyler Murray is going to get the restart. And so we've seen him involved in a couple of little incidents today. We will see what he can do with this restart now that he's up in the front with some clean air. Let's see what he can do with it. Looks like we're still going to get a couple more laps here under caution. Let's see if we can't grab anybody else. You know what? Let's get Chris Massey up here. That's a good one to get up here. I know he was involved in an incident a little bit earlier. And let's find out if he's used that fast repair or not. Chris Massey, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Hey, man. How you doing tonight?
Man, I am doing good. We saw you get involved in that incident a little bit earlier. You had some damage. Have you gotten that fixed yet?
Yeah, I decided to stay out and not use my fast repair, but even once I got out the finish, that damage taken care of, I just couldn't keep pace, so I came back down and I used the fast repair.
All right. So what do you got for these guys the rest of the way?
I don't know, man. These guys are driving pretty wild up here. Everybody's complaining about everybody pushing too hard, but keep trying to sneak my way up here to the front and see what we can get going, man.
Well, you started off in 8th, you're up there in 6th. Keep on pushing just a little bit more each time. Now you're one of the guys in this league that you race in this league regularly anyway, but then you also know some of these new guys from another league as well. So what are you seeing as far as the talent between both leagues?
You know, I definitely think that there's a little bit of a talent gap, but I think the Mid-South guys coming over is really meshing well with the majority of the guys that already raced in this league, because we really needed, 5 or 6 more guys that could run decent lap times, and I really think it's mixing it up nicely tonight.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are having a good time out there. So love your paint scheme, by the way. Chris's Pro Shops, that is actually a really cool paint scheme. So I will let you get back down to the Open Race channel. You have a great race the rest of the time, and hopefully we'll see you at the finish line.
Hey, we can only hope, man.
All right,
you too, buddy.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, Chris Massey out there. And it looks like he did use that fast repair, so now he's got to be super careful. He's got another 40 laps to go. Got to keep that car clean. If you keep that car clean, then you will make it the rest of the way. If you don't, Ooh, there's no more fast repairs left for him, so he's got to be very cautious, especially now in the middle of the pack. But up front, we have Tyler Murray. He is up there running this race now, and he's been pretty much back in the back almost the entire race, mid-pack to the back of the pack. And so now just a little bit of a different view up here up front. Austin Reedy, he's seen the front a little bit today, and he is going to be back up there pushing a little bit hard on Tyler Murray. So you heard Chris Massey say a few guys are a little bit upset about some hard pushing in this race. You know, unfortunately, that's racing sometimes, man. You got to push hard in order to win. So looks like the pace car is going to dip off. Tyler Murray gets control of the start. So he will wait just a second, and then he will take off, hopefully catching some people asleep, and it looks like he did. So he is going to jump out to a nice little lead. And then Austin Reedy there in second, and surprise, surprise, David Duke in third. Now, somebody we haven't talked about in a few laps here, James Holzer up in fourth place. So he is going to stick his nose in this. That was our pole sitter and also the points leader. He is not going to let anybody get away anymore. He was kind of stuck back towards the mid-back of the pack. And we are 3 wide for the lead. David Duke on the inside. Austin Reedy on the outside. Tyler Murray lets them both go. Looks like Austin Reedy is going to get the advantage there. He is going to move to the front. He is going to clear everybody, including David Duke. And he is going to take the lead of this race. Let's see how long he can maintain that. He might have a little bit of damage there. I see a little bit of bending up there. Not sure what that's all about, but he's up front, so that's all that matters right now. David Duke, not giving him any breathing room at all. He is right up there, trying to get that first position back. David Duke loves to be up front in that clean air the entire time. A lot of guys like to, oh, and we got some damage. That is O'Shell dropping back quickly, hitting the wall. No caution, but that is going to drop O'Shell way back as he slides into the pits. And so he will likely get a black flag for that as well for going into pit road too soon. Oh, and we got, looks like Tyler Murray goes down to the inside of the track. So we're going to lose some positions there as well. All sorts of damage now. And while that's all happening, David Duke takes the lead away from Austin Reedy, but look at the gap that they put on everybody else with those two breaking back behind them. So David Duke back up to the lead. Austin Reedy right on his tail. They have opened up almost a second on Holzer. Back towards the back, we're going back too wide towards the back, but up front, all of a sudden David Duke is opened up at half a second. Not really sure how he got that big of a jump on that turn. But there he is all by himself. So Austin Reedy is starting to drop back a little bit. It looks like Holzer's starting to catch him a little bit. So we might have a race here for second place, but somebody's got to get up there and catch Duke. Back a little bit further in the pack, you can see we are 3 wide in some spots. And that's what happens when you get a lot of cars out on the track. Everybody starts to get a little bit more racy. Everybody starts to get a little bit more packed together. And these sort of incidents happen. Brian O'Shell still in the pits. Not really sure. He may have gotten caught in there because of a required repair. And so it looks like his night's going to be over as far as winning this race. He might get back on the track for a few laps, but it doesn't look like he's going to have a chance to win this race at this point. Up front, Austin Reedy decided that he wants the lead back, so he's going to the inside. But David Duke still maintained that lead just by a little bit. I think Austin Reedy will jump in right behind him, ride around for a few more laps before trying again. David Duke and Austin Reedy are really putting on a show right now. And one of the guys that put on a big show earlier, Brian O'Shell, in the pits, I believe his night is pretty much over. Still have a lot of racing to go, and there's still about 31 laps to decide who's going to win this thing. But up front right now, David Duke has really had control of this entire race, almost from the very start. So somebody's going to make a move on him. It needs to be shortly. Not really sure exactly how many laps we can go on one pit stop, but everybody pitted back on lap 58, and so they would have to go 43 laps to make it to the finish line. Not sure that's going to be possible at any track, much less here. So pretty sure there's going to have to be at least one more pit stop at some point. That could be the difference. Back a little further, you can see, I'm not sure whether that's smoke or fog that's out there. Of course, we are in California. Sometimes there are wildfires out here, and sometimes there's fog out here, so it could be a little bit of both, but kind of hazy out here. As we see everybody coming across the start-finish line. And you can see how tight of a group this is. Nobody really going away. But with 31 laps to go, David Duke and Austin Reedy out front, just waiting on anybody to come up and challenge them. If not, then it'll just be those two racing until that last lap, and then I think they'll both get really crazy. You can see that is the gap between first and second place, 0.2 seconds. Not much at all there. So David Duke, again, not really gaining on second place Austin Reedy at all. But Austin's really not catching up either. Now, we do have Tyler Werner, who's decided to come into this picture again. And then Adam Pettit, who was involved in an incident a little bit earlier, but he was up at the front for a little while as well. So Adam Pettit up there in fourth position. And now the top five are all tightly packed together. Adam Pettit's going to get to the inside. He is going to try to go for third place. Austin Reedy drops down to the bottom. He is going to try to go for the lead at the same time. So now Adam Pettit just has to pick which lane do I want to go with. And now everybody gets back up into line. So Adam Pettit moves up into third place, right behind Austin Reedy. David Duke still out front, still with that lead, but he can see the people coming for him. It looks like Adam Pettit goes to the inside once again, trying to take second place away from Austin Reedy. And it looks like he will, for the time being at least. And then we will see them go back up to the front again and try to catch David Duke, who has just been on rails this entire time. So Adam Pettit finally clears Austin Reedy, goes into second place. Now he has to concentrate on catching David Duke. We've seen these two battle in other leagues before. They are a lot of fun to watch once they get right close to each other. Both very, very safe, finesse drivers, but they have no problem mixing it up when they need to. So down on the inside, Tyler Werner moves to third place, passing Austin Reedy. Not really sure why Austin Reedy's falling back. He did have a little bit of damage that we saw a little bit earlier. That may be the cause of something. But he has dropped back to fourth position after leading this race for just a little while. You know, here we are about 20 26 laps to go. You know what? We are going to go to our in-race program and see what these guys are thinking with 26 laps to go here. And this title pack up front, these four guys have really kind of been fighting this whole way, but David Duke has been leading the way the whole time for the most part. And Brandon Browning, he is our resident go-to when we're talking about these close races. Let's see if we can pull him in and see what these guys are thinking at this point. Brandon, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going pretty good, man. I had the pleasure of trying to ride along with this one here, and I'll tell you, you know, I've raced Auto Club a few times, and that guy in the 79 machine right now, David Duke, he's going to be a tough one to beat as we get late in here. I ran one cup race with him here, and of course, you know, the fixed set didn't really have a whole lot that I could do to stay on his outside or stay anywhere near him. He was kind of in his own zip code. So a lot of great racing so far, though, Sean.
Man, it has been a fantastic race, and I can't wait to see what the finish looks like. Again, 26 laps to go. Pretty sure they're going to have to hit one more time here, so, you know, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, and that's going to be, you know, really the big thing is when and where these guys start to pit. Obviously, some newcomers this week, Sean, that, you know, we didn't have the pleasure of having last week, but all talent and all speed nonetheless from what I've seen joining this thing. It's going to turn out to be really fun here as we get later into it.
Yes, it is, and we are going to get a finish here in 25 laps. So it looks like David Duke and company have caught up to, I believe, is that Chris No, that's not Chris Massey. I think that might be Mike Everhart that they are catching up to and passing.
Just trying to get everything brought back up here. My screen went black there for a moment, lost all view of the race itself.
That's all right. I'll call it for you. David Duke out front. That's pretty much how it's gone the entire time. So now Adam Pettit back 0.2 of a second.
There we go. We're finally back rocking and rolling here. Man, that 79 machine, he's just right on the line that you want to be on here. I mean, he's so far through this thing, he's really kind of ran, you know, a perfect line. Going to get down close to the white line. Don't want to touch it all the way through, but, you know, it makes it hard for the two cars behind him, the 41 car and the 33, man. That's the line that he's running. I mean, they're drafting up. These cars obviously have a lot of suck, and no more than what Adam Pettit and Tyler Werner want there. Their nose to tail is to be able to close in on that 79 and maybe, you know, poke inside, poke outside, and try to take that fast line away, take the air away. And we do have a caution on the racetrack,
Yeah,
John.
it looked like James Holzer got off track somehow and then just kind of started spinning. Let's go back and see if we can't figure out what happened with a Dent Wizard Rec replay. So we are going to come around and find out if we can see exactly what happened here. And it looks like, oh, somebody got up into the wall. That's not Holzer, though. He was already down on the track, so not really sure what he was doing down there. Let's see if maybe we can get a better angle here and find out, because he went down onto the track. Look, yeah, it looked like he hit the wall. Yeah, you can see him. He hit the wall there. He went down into the grass, then back up onto the track, back down into the grass. He's just trying to get that thing under control, and maybe he just gets back onto the track and just kind of sits there until that caution comes out.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of him coming off the corner and trying to yank that wheel to almost keep it from going. Once he comes down the track, and then he's going to go back up, and he yanks that wheel because he's headed straight for that outside wall and just yanked it a little bit too much for the speed he was carrying, and just could not figure out the right amount of wheel to keep that car straight there, Sean.
Well, Brandon, we've been talking all race. You know, they've got a great series coming this off season, and let's show everybody what that's going to look like. And so we've got the 4 Wide Racing off-season test series. And so we are going to have the Xfinity cars out here. So right now they're riding the Cup cars. We're going to have the Xfinity cars going now. We're going to have a great time in those. And Brandon, you and I have raced in the Xfinity series before, as far as with these cars, and they are somewhat difficult to control.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you go into a racetrack and you're primarily a Cup guy, primarily a truck guy, you get a lot of good feeling race cars. The one thing I can tell you about the Xfinity series for those guys, it's going to be super tight all the time. It feels almost like, you don't really have a whole lot of control over how tight it is. However, I do think, Sean, should be an open set, correct?
No, I think this is going to be fixed as well. So we've still got some fixed series going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's one of those things, that obviously allow everyone in the field to drive the same type of race car. No one's driving anything different than what the leader's driving. So that'll certainly pay dividends into how these guys handle. But yeah, man, those Xfinity cars are always super tight. Not really a whole lot you can do, to kind of counteract that. But fun series nonetheless. It's probably my second favorite series, obviously behind these Cup cars here.
Yeah, the Cup cars are a blast to run, just really because they're so stable out there, and that's really what you need to go faster.
Yeah, and the more stable the race car is, the harder you can sail it off into the corner, carry speed off the corner and down the backstretch. So that's the big thing with the Cup cars versus, a lot of other, like the trucks, for example. The trucks, you really have to be careful about how you send them down into the corner, because if you send them down too hard, they're kind of going to break loose on you, and then you're just holding on for dear life.
Man, back up front, 20 laps to go. Everybody pitted that time around. So everybody has enough fuel, everybody has enough tires to make it to the end. So David Duke is really in the catbird seat here.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the restart here where we see guys pushing harder than we've seen them pushing throughout the night. The big thing that you really have to look for here is, this could be your one last shot. We could go green to the end from here. You may not get another opportunity to catch that 79 machine, or if you're behind the 33 machine. We saw a little bit of a breakaway there between the 79 of David Duke, 33 of Tyler Werner, and then, of course, the 41 of Adam Pettit. So if you can do anything to hold to him now's your opportunity, Sean.
One guy that I'd like to call out as a dark horse, look at Bobby Brill back in 6th place. He is one of those that he will put it in, actually he's in 5th, so he will put it into that corner really deep just to get that lead. So don't sleep on him either.
Yeah, that's a guy you never count out no matter where he's at. But we are having the pace car pull off to the left-hand side. David Duke trying to stay right where he's at for the remainder of this race, and he's on the gas pedal. Beautiful restart, Sean, by that number 79 machine this time.
Man, once again, he is out front, and everybody's got to chase him.
I tell you, the one car that I do think got an excellent restart there, we share the same last name, Dylan Browning, but obviously now he's going to hurt a little bit through the corner, going to wait on everyone to come back high and draft with him, trying to pick up a few spots. But man, that was a beautiful restart if he just could have got a better run off the corner. But we do see Tyler Werner in the 33 going to give a bump to the 79, try to send him into turn 3 faster than he wanted to go. But veteran David Duke was able to be ready for that, really show that he's not worried.
Man, you got Adam Pettit. He's going to try to sneak a peek on the inside of Tyler Werner and see if maybe he can butt up to David Duke there and try to get pulled around a little bit.
Yeah, and I sort of seen that one coming. Of course, Adam Pettit and David Duke race alongside of each other in another series that we're able to broadcast on. So you almost expect the camaraderie between them and the Bobby Brill machine. Daniel Dow, if he can get up there, they kind of have their own little team, even though they're not teams, so to speak. But Tyler Werner, Adam Pettit going to both put pressure on the 79 machine. 79 of David Duke going to have to decide, do I go high, do I go low?
Oh,
there's
no!
contact with 33.
Tyler Werner goes
That's going to leave a
spinning,
mark.
and that is going to bring out a caution. Oh, we've got cars everywhere.
Yeah, I saw my scoring and timing over here light up with a bunch of race cars.
We saw how that happened live. And so we will go back and we will take a look at it, but Tyler Werner and Adam Pettit get together. And that never ends up okay. You can just see, he just got a little bit out there, and then all of a sudden everybody else gets involved as well. So a lot of people down in the grass, with this new damage model on some of these cars, that sometimes can hurt too.
Yeah, and that one there almost looked like a little bit of net code, a little bit of contact. It was a fine line, but, I'm just riding back on my end here, seeing what really...
Let's take a look here in slow motion as we come around. And here comes Adam Pettit just a little bit up the track. And I don't see any actual contact, but that's going to be a good net code. And that is going to get Werner spun. Now there's some contact there. So definitely some damage.
I was going to say it looked like the 41 kind of drove really hard off of the corner and maybe washed up just a hair. Still yet never touched the right rear of that 33 car. So net code seems the way I would lean toward on the incident because, man, just, late race incidents, Rubbin's racing, so to speak, and the 21 really wanted the spot. The 33 wanted the spot. Maybe almost a little bit of the flat area down there kind of messing up that 41 car as it flattens out off of Sean.
And now we have most of the pack coming into the pits. Top 5 right now: David Duke, Danny Dow, Brandon Banks, looks like Tyler Murray, and Roman Long all staying out. So they are going to have 5-lap old tires while everybody else has freshies.
Yeah, and I like that call by Adam Pettit there, just seeing his car after the incident that he was involved in. Did have quite a bit of right front damage from the contact, so doesn't appear that it's going to take too awful long to get that repaired. Maybe already down a fast repair, that 21 machine. So he's kind of sitting there on pit road right now, just repairing the thing out, getting it ready to go again.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of work to do with about 15-ish laps to go until we get back. Now, let's we've already talked to David Duke today. Let's see if we can't get maybe a Danny Dow in here. He is back there in second place. Let's see if we can't pull him in and talk to him a little bit. Danny Dow, Sean and Brandon up in the booth. How's it going, my friend?
Man, it's going great. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. You decided not to pit there. You're going to stay right on the bumper of David Duke. He's been leading almost the entire race. What do you got for him?
Man, I would be tickled to death just to finish right here behind Duke. I downloaded the track right as qualifying was starting, so I had 0 laps here whatsoever. I've made it to the front a couple times, burned up my tires, went to the back, come back toward the front, same thing. I don't know that I've got enough to hold on to second, but we're going to give it all we got.
Well, I will tell you, Danny, coming in, looking down the list of drivers we had in this thing tonight, I saw 2 names that spoke out to me as far as Auto Club, and even still speaking to me knowing you didn't have any laps, buddy. That was you and David Duke, and you've proved me right so far, sitting 1-2.
Man, I tell you, I'd love to finish it off, but it's going to be a tough task. There's some good racers in this thing, and like I said, we're just trying to get a top 5 here. I'd be tickled with it.
I certainly understand that, buddy. We will go ahead and get you back down, give them all you got here, and see if you can dethrone that 79 car out of the lead.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, and that's the guy up in second place right now, Danny Dow. And so he is going to do everything he can to catch David Duke. But David Duke has been up front basically this entire race. Brandon, what are you going to do? 15 laps to go. We've gone 86 laps now. David Duke has led almost the entire way. Do you stick with your same strategy, or do you have to change something?
I think if you're David Duke, you're going to run the same thing repeatedly until they beat you. And I think here on this restart, the pace car's off, the 79 in control. There's the restart box, and he's off yet again, Sean. I don't think if you're David Duke, you change a single thing about how you ran this race.
Well, Danny Dow jumps down to the inside right behind David Duke. He does not want to get caught up on the outside there. Right behind number 20, Brandon Banks. Looks like he is going to put a little bit of pressure on Danny Dow there.
Yeah, and I think the way Banks ran that turns 1 and 2, he should get a huge run carrying him down into turns 3 and 4. But I tell you what, Danny Dow has the pull from that 79 car, and he's not going to make it easy as he lays it down real gently down to the bottom. But, that you see the difference there. Oh, the 21 contact from the 20 of Brandon Banks was able to gather it back up, though, Sean. But if you watch the difference in any of these cars and how smooth they lay it in the corner compared to that 79 car, it's not even close.
Well, man, the number 79 right now is loving this racing behind him because all it's doing is allowing him to have even more. Oh, and
we are going to have a caution. I think maybe with the save there, maybe no caution.
With a lot of guys to the inside, it looks like, and no, still no caution. Not really sure why that's not bringing out a caution, but Brandon Banks got spun. Looks like Adam Pettit is still in the pits there. Nick Vizzuti, he got spun. Now we get the yellow flag. Not really sure
looked
why
like
the yellow
that
was
one
so
there.
long there, but
I'm not sure that we were going to get one there. It looks like one of the admins actually brought us that caution there, Sean. So I think you had said it maybe not quite, but Nicholas Vizzuti did get involved in a crash. Looked like he actually crashed that machine twice during that little run there from what I'm showing, but we will have to take a rec replay nonetheless and see what was going on.
Let's take a look and see if we can't find out what happened back there with a Dent Wizard rec replay.
Beautiful save by the 20 for sure. Does slide back down the track though and look like he gains a little bit of contact.
And looks like we're going to go to a different camera angle here. So it looks like he and Danny Dow just going for the same spot at the same time. Danny might have hit that apron a little bit and come up a little bit on that. So that might have been what happened.
Almost seems, a little reminiscent of the incident with Adam Pettit there. He kind of got down really close to the white line, the apron, so to speak, and it starts to flatten out down there, Sean, and really no grip. And I think maybe Danny just got down to that flat, and as soon as he did that, the tires maybe slid and didn't have as much grip, and allowing him to just barely tag that 20 car. But nonetheless, aside from the coming back down in front of, I think it was the 36 machine, maybe the 56 machine, that Chick-fil-A machine, going to come down and collect him. But beautiful save there through the first part of that.
Well, and so it looks like we're going to get those guys back into the pits. Not sure how many of those still have fast repairs. But so far right now, the top 16 are still on the lead lap. Adam Pettit had to go about 4 laps down with his repairs, so his race is essentially over. We also have Mike Everhart and Brian O'Shell, whose races are basically over as well, even though it looks like O'Shell is back on the track, but he's about 22 laps down.
Sean, I do show that the Adam Pettit machine, the 41, as well as the Mike Everhart 64, have both called it quits on their night, pulling their cars behind the wall and disconnecting from the server.
Yeah, and sometimes with one fast repair, sometimes it's just not enough, and that's how it went tonight.
I am curious, though, about that 41 machine of Adam Pettit. Didn't seem like he had, much damage at all. Not sure if something came up on his end for him, or maybe he felt that, he wasn't as competitive. But just a little right front damage is all I showed from that incident with the Adam Pettit machine. Figured he would be back out nonetheless, racing with the draft. Probably could have picked up a few, but maybe he felt that he had more damage than was shown, Sean.
The guy that I've been watching this entire race, and the one that really is almost, even though he's second in the points, he's a sneaky pick, is Austin Reedy. He's just kind of been sitting there, and he's just waiting for his moment to pounce. And right now he has 5-lap pressure tires for these 2 guys up front, so maybe now's the chance.
Yeah, and this time by will be coming. I know it's under caution, but we will be coming to the 9 to go this time by, I do believe. So, it's going to show big for the guys back in second row, third row that weren't there before, maybe gained a few spots because of incidents. So that will be huge. It's showtime now, if it's ever showtime. You think, Sean?
Man, if you don't do it now, you're never going to get a chance to do it with the way that David Duke and Danny Dow are controlling this race.
I think David Duke's best friend right now in the race is going to be Danny Dow on that 21 car. Teammates outside of the series, and that's what you always want behind you as you get down into turn 3 coming to end the race, restarting under caution. But those guys right now on the front row showing these guys, newcomers, showing these guys behind them the way around this racetrack.
Make no mistake, if Danny Dowd gets a chance to take this win, he will take that chance every second of the day. He races against his son in another series, and he will take the chance to beat his own son if he has to.
Yeah, so David Duke certainly not safe from that 21 machine, but this time looking to repeat his restarts, and he's going to do so well clear of the 21 and still pulling. So a beautiful restart, and I will say, you know, being on the leader's discretion is a tough way to restart here, Sean, because you never know if he's going to go late, if he's going to go early, or how he's going to restart the race. But as you said, the sneaky pick, Austin Reedy going to find his way into the second spot, looking for a huge run off the back, going to maybe get his nose outside of that 79 machine this time by, Sean.
Well, Austin Reedy again with the fresher tires of the two, but David Duke has just been on the right track the entire time. And it looks like
Tyler Murray was able to save it off of turn 4. A little bit of contact yet again with the 21 on the inside, contact with the Daniel Down machine. James Holzer going to look to the outside of the 21, but Austin Reedy right where you want to be this time through 1 and 2, within position as we get later into this thing, Sean, to maybe use the nose and move that 79 car out of the way.
And then on the outside, we've got James Holzer back there fighting for third place against Danny Dow. He will take that third position. So James Holzer, our points leader, and Austin Reedy, the second place in points. They are right up there in contention to win this thing.
We do have a battle for the lead, though. The 11 car wasn't able to make it stick. Beautiful defensive move by David Duke in the 79, making sure that 11 car stays down on the apron. Didn't have a whole lot of room. We'll see how long that works as far as, oh, inside again. David Duke going to have to give the spot maybe to the 11 car.
He does.
Can he make it stick down to the bottom line? But a crossover this time off of 4. Going to maybe make a little contact. Here comes James Holzer in the 88 machine underneath the 79. Tires starting to fade here, Sean.
Man, James Holzer with a huge move to the inside. He is going to go for second place and maybe more. No, he's going to dip. He's going to tuck in right behind Austin Reedy there and bide his time here.
Yeah, and almost looks like he's trying to set up a big run, but David Duke's going to get one off at turn 4. What will Austin Reedy do? Trying to stay ahead of the 88. That was a late block, but it worked for the moment. David Duke now trying to even out with the 88 into turn 1. Going to maybe have a nose close to the 11 car in the middle of the turn. You see how far back that 88 machine fell, having to lift for the block from the 11 car, but back on the throttle again underneath the 21. And don't count out the 13 car. Craig Lautenschlager back in the pack a little bit, trying to make his way around Tyler Werner for 5th.
Austin Reedy not only took the lead, but now he is starting to pull away a little bit as David Duke tries to fight off everybody for that second position.
Yeah, and his race went from cruise control to really busy real quick. And right now, looking inside of the 21 car, hopefully no contact. There is contact. David Duke has to roll out of the throttle. It's going to open the door for the 18, the 88, the 13, and the 33 to join this battle here late in this thing, Sean.
And Reedy is loving seeing that battle back there because the more they battle, the farther out front he gets. He is half a second up with only 5 laps to go here.
3 wide into turn 3. The 88 slid across the nose of the 79, stacking him up. But he was able to adjust his corner, get a huge run inside of the 21 this time. David Duke not going down without a fight. But as I said before, here comes the 13 of Craig Lautenschlager trying to make it past for third and fourth place here. Going to look inside, has to back his corner up. But man, as you said, Austin Reedy enjoying the show behind him. He hopes these guys race right up until the checkered flag flies, but not sure now. James Holzer in the 88. Caution. That's not what you want to see. I would be super surprised if these guys from third on back don't leave Austin Reedy sitting here if they do have the set of tires remaining.
It looked like Roman Long wrecking back in the back of the pack. Let's see if we can't figure out what happened there with another Dent Wizard wreck replay. All right, so let's see if we can't figure this out. So it looks like there was a little bit of contact there towards the back end. The 99 of Roman Long just had no place to go as the number 8 of Tyler Murray just slides up into him a little bit after some contact. I believe that might be Chris Massey involved in that as well as Nick Vizzuti. So 4 guys out there just all racing for the same position, same time, and sometimes that's just how it goes here in iRacing.
Yeah, and from my standpoint, it looked like Roman was trying to pinch those guys down the track a little bit, carry his run down the backstretch, and Tyler Murray went a little bit too close to the 75 of Nick Vizzuti, and contact there, washing up into the 99. That's the danger, Roman really played with the way he wanted to run 1 and 2. If there was no contact, he put himself in a power position to gain both spots, Sean, but unfortunately, a little bit of contact beneath him going to wash those cars up into his inside. So hate to see that from Roman Long. Beautiful move. I do respect it. But I do see Dan Bowdler out in the chat. So got a pit here if you're the 79 and the 21. I agree with you completely. I thought for sure we'd see a pit stop from them and maybe bring some guys behind them down pit road.
Well, let's see if we can get Austin Reedy up here into the broadcast booth and see if we can see what he's thinking right now. Austin Reedy, Sean, and Brandon up here in the booth. How you doing tonight, man?
Heart's pounding a little right now, but we're doing good.
Man, you had a great race going with David Duke there, and all of a sudden you just cleared him and took off. What do you have left for these last 3 laps?
Man, I don't really know. I'm just going to drive her as hard as I can, try to hold this 88 back there. Try to survive at this point, try to keep the lead.
Yeah, just from a broadcaster's standpoint, Austin, on my side here, it looks like if you can stay ahead of the 88, you're pretty safe here. I think the 79, the 21, the 13, maybe a tad bit more worn tires, but the 88 was able to stay even with you once he got clear. But, if you can get the restart and get clear of him, buddy, I think you're sitting nice.
Yeah, I hope I get a good restart. I'm usually not too great on them, but I was pulling away from there. I hated seeing that caution with 3 to go. That just killed me, but we're going to try to get it done here.
Yeah, as they began racing behind you, the 88 and 79, it allowed the 21 to pull up, and I thought that was going to be the caution you weren't looking for. Obviously, I know you wanted that thing to finish under green, but I think you got it in you here, buddy. I think you could take this one, but anything else you'd like to say before this restart?
Shout out to Menthol Jewel Pods and Miller Highlight for sponsoring this race.
All righty, man. Well, we'll go ahead and get you back down there and set for the restart. And I believe you'll be coming a 1 to go this time by. So good luck throughout the remainder of the restart here in the race. Hopefully this will be the last time you have to have some anxiety, so to speak.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, so Austin Reedy is going to get the opportunity here to gain a few points on James Holzer. So Austin Reedy second place in points right now. James Holzer number 1 in points. So this could be even bigger than just this race.
Yeah, and I like the tone there from Austin Reedy. He didn't come up here and saying, yeah, I've got this. I'm not worried. He was like, man, I don't really know. And that's kind of the outlook I think you have to have in this instance. You're fast, but you've seen the 79, the 88 have the speed early in the runs. And that's really, we're going to come to a green-white checkered this time, Sean. I think his biggest thing was we went more than 2 laps, so he was able to really check out. But I do like the attitude headed into this one and just looking to get clear on the restart.
I think the guy that he has to worry about most is that number 13 of Craig Lautenschlager. Now, he is back in 5th place right now, so he's got a little bit of work to do. But he's got 5-lap fresher tires than Austin Reedy. And so that could come into play, especially if there's another green-white checker.
Yeah, and we saw realistically how that affected these guys earlier. Austin Reedy was able to punch his. He had about 5 laps newer on the guys ahead of him. So that could play huge here, and especially catching Craig Lautenschlager back up to the rest of the field, Sean.
Well, it looks like we are back to green, and Austin Reedy jumps out in front. James Holzer tucks in right behind him, and then we got guys racing for 3rd and 4th place. So it looks like it might be a 2-car race here.
I don't think I'd count out that 33 machine if he can just, never mind. Going to make contact with the 21 on the inside there. Going to definitely allow Craig Lautenschlager to get back up in this thing. But here comes that 88 machine looking low. It's going to be a block from Austin Reedy to the high line. Goes the 88. Can he sell it off in here? But one thing this is going to allow, that 79 machine back in the mix here, Sean. If he can pick the throttle up. Great run off the corner by the 21. Oh, going to give an off-center bump to the 79. trying to bump draft him up past the 88 and give him a shot at it, but just a little off center by Danny Dow.
White flag, here we go. Holzer going to the outside. David Duke still has something to say about it, but Austin Reedy starting to try to pull away a little bit, but here comes Holzer.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're David Duke or Daniel Dow. They're battling for it. That's slowing them down, and here comes David Duke on, he's going to tag the wall. But the 21, if the 88 gets back inside, maybe they make a little contact, but it looks like Austin Reedy is going to hold on to this one. David Duke slides back into the second spot, and as that 88 continues to drop positions, if you're Austin Reedy, Sean, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, basically Holzer, man, he took a hard line into that corner, just couldn't hold it, and so he ended up in the wall, and he's going to end up finishing, I believe, fifth.
All over the place crashing there, but yes, I do show the 88 scored in the 5th position, so nonetheless going to change the points a little bit for these guys as we expected Austin Reedy to hold on to that one there with the new tire call.
Great finish to that race. Always good to see 3 or 4 different guys have a shot at it. And so Holzer comes up, gives a congratulatory bump to Austin Reedy. And then Austin, I believe, is going to burn it down here in California at Auto Club Speedway.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll be lucky to have a motor left in that number 11 car because that's huge, as we said here, to finish out the season. Doesn't want to give an opportunity for this 88 car of James Holzer to get away from him, and that was one way to certainly do that, Sean.
All right, well, we will try to get some of our winners in here, our top 3 at least, and see what their thoughts were on that race. But just really quickly, let's take a quick look here at the race results. So Austin Reedy, first place. David Duke, who led a lot of this race, ends up in second. Then Danny Dow, who came on strong at the end, in third.
4th place, we're going to have Tyler Werner making a little contact with Danny Dow, but was able to recover. We saw James Holzer go from 2nd to 5th on that final corner. Bobby Brill in 6th place, and Jaden Gimble. Jay Gimble didn't really talk about him a whole lot late there, but he did bring it home 7th, Sean.
And Chris Massey had some trouble at the very beginning, but he came back for a nice 8th place finish. Nick Vizzuti, he got tagged a few different times, still came in 9th. Craig Lautenslager, who we thought had a really good chance at this thing towards the end, he had the fresh tires. He ends up back in 10th.
Yeah, and I think he lost a little bit of momentum, but we are going to have Larry Rayborn Jr. in the 11th spot, Brandon Gillis in 12th. Brandon Banks, who was up front late in this thing, he's going to fall back to the 13th position, and Dylan Browning in 14th.
Tyler Murray's going to round out the top 15. Then we have Roman Long back in 16th, a few laps down. Adam Pettit, Brian O'Shell, and Mike Eberhardt all wrecked out of the race.
Still, yet again, up front, it was a great finish for that number 11 machine, and obviously threw a little bit of a block on to the 88 of James Holzer coming down into 3. And it played big because you never know what would have happened if you would have allowed that 88 to your outside, John.
All right, well, let's see if we can get Danny Dow, our 3rd place finisher, in here and see what his thoughts were towards the end of that race. Danny Dow, Sean, and Brandon up in the booth. Congrats on a 3rd place finish, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. That track was racy, man. It was a blast all night long.
Yeah, and Danny, I like what you did there. You said you were worried about holding it up front, but you knew what you needed to do to hold that 21 up in the top spot there. What's it like now that you finished racing here for your first time ever?
Oh, I loved it. I would absolutely come back and do this track in a New York heartbeat. It's really fun, really fast, and like I said, it's all about momentum. Just trying not to abuse that right front tire. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, and I thought for sure going down into turn 3 on that final lap, the 88 and the 11 car were going to get together and maybe give Danny Dow a shot at it. But, how do you plan moving forward? Do you plan to finish running out with these guys? Will we see you next week?
Man, yeah, I'd love to. I tell you what, I had a blast. Really a lot of clean racing, hard racing. I mean, there was some contact, but it was definitely hard racing, clean racing. Like I said, I had a blast.
Going into that last restart, we were saying, Danny, how you and David Duke are teammates in another league, but I said that nobody would put it past you at all because you race your son in that league, and you would do whatever it takes to get that win. What would you have done if it came down to you and Duke on that last corner?
I would have wrecked my mom to win that race. But in all seriousness, I was really coming up behind Duke on that last lap as we was coming to the white. I tried to hit him. They said you could draft and bump a little bit. I tried to hit him dead center to give him the run. I was literally trying to push him to a win, and he said he was a little tight when I hit him, and he got a little loose. And like I said, I had all intentions of pushing him to the win if I could, and that's what I was. He was the fastest car all night long. I felt like he was the best car.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to drop you back down in the group there. Have a great night, great racing tonight. We will see you again shortly.
All right, buddy.
All right, Brandon, let's see if we can't get David Duke in here. Again, led most of the race and then just couldn't finish it off. Let's just see what he says about it. So, David Duke, Sean and Brandon up in the booth. And, we talked a little bit earlier. You had full control of this race for a long time. What happened there?
Man, I hate to be talking to you guys in the second place finisher. Got caught up in the married to the pit strategy. The caution flew late, and I decided to stay out lap 80. And last time I pitted was lap 80, and then the caution flew on 84, and everybody took tires there that on 85, and got caught up on a little bit older tires. Man, if second place, if I'm going to be angry off second place, that's pretty good.
Well, I will tell you, David, I think the biggest thing, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think you got Brendan Browning cursed because, I come into the broadcast, kind of laid off in the thing. And before I came in, man, you had apparently had a rocket ship and wasn't anybody touching you. And then I pop up and then it just went downhill from there. So I definitely want to apologize, man.
No, I was still fast. Like I said, I just had a little bit older tires, and I decided not to pit. And, it's the nature of the beast. If you do what the leader doesn't do, and they came into pit, and I think only 4 or 5 cars stayed out, and I didn't have too much of a buffer, and then a late caution really hurt me there. I checked out on Dow there for a little bit on that last run, but then the caution come out, and it bunched everybody up, and I didn't have much of a chance. I tried to sell it off in there and hope it would stick, and I went up P2, but it wasn't bad.
Well, buddy, we appreciate you being here tonight, and we can't wait to see you again. I know we've got another broadcast with you on Sunday, but maybe you can come back here to 4Wide Racing and try to get that win.
Yeah, if they want to have us back, man, I'd like to come back. I just want to thank CMC Fabrication and Speed Racing Network, man. Thank you for broadcasting, and y'all have a good night.
All right, buddy. Take care.
You too, man. We appreciate it.
All right, one more interview to go. Let's see if we can get the winner, Austin Reedy, up here. Austin Reedy, we talked to you just a second ago. You brought home the win. Congratulations. Man, what were you feeling like when Holzer made that run?
I know he's upset about it, but I had to block him. I already apologized to him, but it's going for the first win. I had to block him, so I saw he got the run. I didn't get a good turn 1 and 2 at all. He was going to get me on the inside, and he was probably going to win the race. So I know I had to block him. Thanks to him, not for sending me, but it had to be done.
Yeah, and as a fellow driver myself on the side, man, I think you played it perfectly. I don't think there's anything, obviously he knew he was that close to it, but I think you executed that beautifully, man. I know you had to do what you had to do there, and especially being the points leader, the guy that you're chasing behind. I think that was a well-executed block on your part.
Thank you. Yeah, I know he's not happy about it. I mean, I just had to do it.
Well,
There's no other way I can put it.
Well,
but man, my heart, what a relief coming across that line.
Well, buddy, we're pulling up the standings right now on the screen, and we know that you are in second right now, right behind Holzer. You're going to gain a little bit of ground with that win. Not a ton, but enough to maybe be within striking distance here shortly. What do you got for the rest of the season?
I hope we just keep getting these top 5s. We've been, last 3 or 4 races, we've been doing really well. I think we got a second place finish at Indy. I think we got a 4th at Dover and a 4th, I can't remember where else. But we've been staying up there, staying out of wrecks. And just I hope we can keep that momentum going.
Good deal, man. Well, we're going to let you get back down and celebrate tonight. We are right back at it next week.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for broadcasting. This is awesome.
All right, man. Have a
Thank
great
you,
night.
buddy.
Yep, you guys too.
All right, Brandon. Well, let's talk about next week a little bit. So we are going to New Hampshire, Magic Mile 200. So not it's going to be a lot of fun. Any more points out there these racing guys are having?
Yeah, and I think New Hampshire will be a good gauge for a lot of these guys. Obviously, if you're Austin Reedy, you're going to carry the success in and hope that maybe he struggles a little bit in James Holzer there. Want to capitalize and get as many points as you can per race. If you guys are interested in